How's it going, everyone? Another great week of trading has started. It started off pretty hot. A lot of things kind of going on within, I guess, the meme world. GME had a nice gap up of about 80% over pre-market and into the start of the market open. So ended up getting halted. I know like Roaring Kitty had a lot to do with tweeting about it and, you know, that kind of thing. But it is Monday. And as far as Monday goes on our weekly video series, Monday we have our live stream, guys. Wednesday we do an NPOC and daily POC update. And then Friday we do a quick breakdown segment, about 5 to 6 minutes of what's happened previous week going into the weekend and what we're looking for going into next week. Shout out to the stream sponsor, guys, over at CoinCatch, Coinbase, and Tealstreet. Tealstreet is our trading terminal that we use. So you can get some really good data based off this flow throughout just watching it every single day. The low term time frame momentum is what I think is probably the most important thing based on this. And then obviously the exchange partners, right? Coinbase is what I use for spot trading, and CoinCatch is what I use for leverage and margin trading. We're going to go over some NPOC levels first on BTC. We've had our game plans. We do have some NPOC prints, and they're going to stay the same. You know, the setups are literally going to stay the same going forward. We had the long and the short entry. Now, this did kind of get front run, the 59262, but I talked about that with you guys. I talked about a potential front run of that range low, and this is exactly why I wanted to go over this, is because sometimes what I personally would like, I would love a retest of that 59262 at a later time. The setup that I want is I would love for this to stay open. That way we can run up to these levels, close these out, and then retest lower. You know, this isn't ideal for the people that are long-term no matter what, but as far as a range trader, which I love trading ranges, this is a dream. We'll close up higher. Everybody will think all-time high breaks is going to happen. That's where we can start taking off some profits from our low bids. And then, you know, we'll kind of just see how it ends up playing out. But for me, guys, it's all about having a game plan and then reacting towards that game plan. So the NPOC levels are going to stay the same as far as the longs and the short. I'm not going to create any game plans based off of this. The next area of interest I'm willing to at least consider a short is still going to be the 66557 NPOC level, and then also the 67422 NPOC level. And as far as my longs go, I am still long BTC and Ethereum and PEPE, but I still think that I am willing to long all the way down to this close here. And that's kind of exactly what I want to talk to you guys about, because that's why I have an area to start longing into. Sometimes you may get entry levels, sometimes you may get dollar cost average levels that you want or that you don't want, but at the end of the day, I am willing to take an entry here, and I'm willing to dollar cost average all the way down to this area. That is my game plan just for BTC, just in general. You could argue, right, that the people that were kind of like longing this area all the way up kind of started to trigger their stop loss down, and you know, that's why we had the dump. But still, it doesn't matter. You know, a lot of people, they were longing in some of this area willing to long lower, like myself, right? I was longing in this area on the way down, but still willing to long lower. So for me, I just didn't think that people were underwater that significantly to cut those entries. It's starting to be that Bart pattern, right? The famous Bart Simpson pattern with the hair. You know, that's just the meme that the price action can happen on Bitcoin sometimes. It's just somewhat happening. And like I said, there was evidence that Binance was manipulating the market. They like fucking admitted it. You can smell it, right? Like you can see it. This was the head and shoulders reversal up to 67422, which is looking like that we're happening. Again, I would have liked to dig to this area. That would have been like a perfect entry, a nice little picture for the head and shoulders. But, you know, at the same time, you're not going to get it to hit perfectly. That level just got front run. Unless something crazy happens, which it's looking like memes are mooning. GME is the start of what fucking happened in 2020. GME started running because everybody got their stimmy checks, right? Went absolutely parabolic. Some of these big time firms that had massive short positions were freaking out. They were wanting it to get halted so that people could stop trading because they were so underwater within their short positions. So retail just absolutely pumped the shit out of GME. Now, does that happen again? I don't know. You know, is it PEPE this time that retail pushes the shit out of? It might be. There's multiple options within memes that we could continue to see. And so for me, this was a nice gap up on GME. Now, does it continue? I'm not sure. You know, we'll have to see how the rest of the markets play out in the coming days. I think it's a great start. We also talked about this market maker model. These are more of models that the market makers look to push retail around on, right? You know, they have the highs, drop to the lows, deviate outside, get acceptance, and then retest those highs. But you could say it's a market making model, but really it's just our fucking current range range on a lower term time frame. It's literally the same exact thing as upper limit, lower limit, right? So it's just a matter of how you want to perceive them as a trader. Like, do you want to look at it as a market making model like this, or do you just want to look at it as upper limit and lower limit basic support and resistance? It's the same fucking thing, just pictured a little bit differently. So you yourself, whatever helps you visualize that the best, right? Whether it's looking at something like this with boxes, or it's just having a basic current range and knowing how to trade upper limit, median ML, and lower limit. That's my biggest takeaway from something like this as far as a market maker model. All right, I gotta go collect my clout on Pepe after this, guys. Gonna go take some screenshots, so please engage with that, blow it up. You know, if you took the trade, comment under the post that I make here in a second. But again, gotta collect that clout, guys. Gotta collect that clout just like we gotta collect that money. Yeah, high term time frame on BTC, guys, still the same setup. I'm not gonna harp on BTC too much. If we get back and hold above upper limit, I really think the farthest that we'll drop back below would be down to this potential lower limit, because it would be potentially a lower high, right? And then a breakout above into, you know, that 80K, that 90K, that 6-figure area. You know, you could look at seasonality trading, which people say, you know, to always think summer gets boring. Summer can be boring, it can be, but there's been some hot summers. So there's no like playbook on exactly how it works. You want to be the person that still watches the markets every single day, regardless of what you think about seasonality trading, regardless what you think about the quarter trading, you know, because there's people that will be like, sell in May, walk away, Q2 is going to suck, and then they miss out on some pretty good upside. Now, is that upside going to be substantial? No, but I think a move from 63K all the way up to 74K is a substantial move. Some people may call that boring. I call that a great environment to be trading. So it just depends on the perspective of each trader who's looking at what is kind of happening. So, all right, let's look into ETH. So ETH, you can't ask for a better jump off of that NPOC print right at the bottom. About a 4.5% jump just straight off hitting that. This has just played out perfectly. There's no real update on this one other than I'm expecting higher. We're currently in a long. If you guys longed it, congratulations to you. Congratulations getting into that play with me. The next short is going to be 3313. That's going to be an area of interest for me that I'm looking to long. My starter positions, guys, are not overexposed starter positions. Sometimes they're $200. Sometimes they're $300. Sometimes they're $600. It just depends. So I took a starter position and then had some hammer adds lower to bring that average down. Now I can tell you what my average is on ETH. It is 2904. So did I catch the bottom? No, but I got an average within an area that I was interested in getting an average into. That's how I trade, right? For me, guys, it's not about getting the perfect entry. It's not about getting the perfect position size. It's all about finding an area that you're willing to long and then getting an average within that area. Was there CPI today? I don't even fucking know. Like, I can't even keep up with all this shit. Again, I just think all that shit is just narratives that people hold on to for no fucking reason. Like, I get there's certain things within the CPI that affect markets in specific ways, but for me, it's all in the technicals. I am such a technical trader. I do not care hardly at all for fundamentals. There's a few projects I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool fundamental, and I'll maybe look to invest into it. But as far as my trading goes, it is based off pure technicals. I don't like listening to fundamentals. I don't like listening to the CPI or the FMOC or any of that shit, but it doesn't really deter me from my overall setups and my overall structures that I'm looking for. All right, so yeah, Sui has kind of been following our plan, right? We wanted a sweep of this wick, which is kind of still in play. So this is the current range that we're watching. We look to see a little bit of resistance here on this median ML play. My setup still stands. Like, I am long a shit ton of Sui, but I am long from so low that it doesn't matter what happens between 98 cents and 80 cents for me. I don't care. If this jumps and sweeps that right there, then I think that's a great entry. Kind of sweep these wicks. I think a lot of altcoins are kind of in the process of sweeping these wicks. Anywhere in this area of interest is a good long on Sui. I think Sui, in my opinion, is going to be one of the biggest plays that I've ever had as far as trading, just because of where my entry is from 32 cents or a little bit lower. Still long Sui, still going to be holding Sui, still looking for a lot higher on Sui. So SEI, I'm not seeing any interest in these right now. I mean, we can look at deviation above $1, deviation below 50 cents, 55 cents, but we're still not getting that acceptance back into this range, right? We can only continue to watch this range here. Median ML is around the lower limit of our high term time frame range. So again, just that same thing that we were looking at on Sui, where I think a better entry is going to be a sweep of these wicks if they happen. That's where I would look to get long on the low term time frames for this one. Yeah, Sol's fucking being a banger right now. I mean, really, again, following that plan of just basic current range trading for us on Sol. We called for a little bit of a resistance drop, which we got because we were heading into this upper limit resistance on a lower term time frame current range, and then a retest of median ML, and that's where you could look for your long. And that's exactly what happened. If BTC and ETH can continue to stay strong, then, you know, I think that this continues with our game plan of rejecting upper limit, bouncing at median ML, and then a break past into that 172 area. Render's still fucking strong, man. Like, if you just look at the high term time frame on Render, it is still a very, very strong asset. It's just a very strong trending asset that, in my opinion, can probably reach 20 here pretty soon, right? And so I have bids all the way from 3s, 4s, and then got some in that 7, average probably of around 5. And if we hit $20 fucking on Render, that's probably a 6-figure gain for me. So I'm not too worried on the low term time frame spot. You know, as of right now, if you're looking to try and find a trade, you know, I think maybe you kind of missed your opportunity because we had a ton of opportunities to buy within $7 and $8. But I like Render. Like I said, I have $20 targets and higher on Render. It's just one of those strong AI plays that you don't want to be fading. Do you think it's got something to do with ETH having ridiculous fees while memes on Sol are essentially cost free? I think that has something to do with it. But like, if I'm trading with $1,000, I don't want to be giving Ethereum network 20 to 30 bucks when things get hot per fee, right? Or even more. So I do think that that's why memes pop off pretty well, is because if you're trading about, you know, $1,500 to $2,000, the Solana network is better for fees. So maybe that's where a lot of people are transitioning. I just think meme coins have been taking over the world. They've been taking over everything. And I still think they're fucking meme coins, right? Like, they're garbage. They're created in seconds and minutes, and they're just trash. But again, you could say that about a lot of the altcoins too. So it just depends on your perspective. That's why you can't ever really have the mindset of something's a scam, because some of the scams run the hardest and some of the scams become legitimate. Like, look at Dogecoin, for instance, right? Everybody thought it was a scam, but then look what happened. Elon started tweeting about it, and it still technically doesn't do anything. It's still technically a scam. So it just depends on when you bought it. Is it a scam because you bought it into a pump, or, you know, do you think it's the most amazing asset ever because you bought it at the lows and you were able to sell and make a shit ton of money into the pump? Yeah, this is one that really did kind of run its course already. I'm not really interested in FET. Do I think it goes higher? Yeah, but FET is just not one I am very interested in buying just looking at this chart. Look at the 2-hour really fast. Again, just a basic range. I mean, really, you could argue that this has already deviated out once and out twice again, and then right now we're seeing median ML resistance. What you want to see if you want to long, I think that this is a good area to still continue to long. You can take a starter position and then look to average down. There's a lot of demand within this area here at $1.60, $1.80, and that, you know, you could see something like this. And so when price is sitting above $3, $3.20, it's not going to matter if you were buying here or you're buying here. You're still in profit either way. Thank you all for joining. Please get on over to my YouTube, guys, and like and subscribe to all of my stuff. It really helps me build that channel. I am really specifically dialed into CoinCatch copy trading. Please be aware that that is coming soon. We are going to integrate fully automated AI trading into copy trading on CoinCatch. No more manual Telegram trading. It's going to be fully automated for you guys to make those executions. Hopefully you like the new setup. Hopefully you like everything that is kind of going on within the weekly video series. I hope that it helps your guys' trading. I hope the Telegram helps your trading. And I will see you over in the Telegram. Peace.